Who's your favorite cyclist?
Dano.
Who is by far your favorite cyclist?
Dano.
Say it.
Dano.
So a few weeks ago, I told you that I was probably going to stop cycling until the end of the pandemic, but I've realized something over the past few weeks, that here in America, we have bungled the response to the pandemic at a level that's almost incomprehensible. So I think what we've done is ensure ourselves that the pandemic, the virus, the issues are going to be with us for a lot longer than I originally expected. So I decided to get back on the bike. I've had a history of respiratory problems my whole life. I've had bronchitis, pneumonia, walking pneumonia many times in my life, plus I have Lyme disease, so I'm not the healthiest guy on the block. And one thing I realized years ago was that to stay healthy, I had to stay active. And that means staying cardiovascularly active. So I've decided to get back on the bike. I've been riding on and off for the past few weeks. And I just want to give you a description of the kind of riding that I'm doing and why I'm doing this kind of riding. So I am now doing what I would primarily call a blend of road riding and gravel riding. The bike that I ride, which is a Salsa Fargo, a titanium version of that bike, it's a bike that's kind of a jack of all trades. You can ride any kind of cycling on this bike. It's a wonderful bike. It's my favorite bike that I've ever had. And I don't do a lot of mountain biking. That's probably my least favorite form of cycling. If I have a chance to do it, I'll do it. It's not that I don't like mountain biking, but I much prefer longer miles, longer rides. I love riding on the road, and gravel has always been fun, and gravel's become a much bigger part of what I'm doing now on a bike. Apparently the industry is selling 9 gravel bikes for every road bike. There's been a huge shift in the industry. I think it's been an injection of sort of energy into the cycling industry that we haven't seen in a long time. You have races like the Dirty Kansas that have exploded in popularity, and now every manufacturer is making gravel bikes, which is fantastic. So what I do is I live outside of Santa Fe. I've got a route from the current house that I'm living in. I've got a route that I call the Peru route because it reminds me of being in the Andes in Peru. I've got a combination of dirt roads, narrow tarmac roads. I've got houses on hilltops, mud houses, super steep hillsides, cliffs. I've got a 20 mile, a 30 mile, a 50 mile version of this ride, and I could easily go much further. And I love this kind of ride. I typically get up early in the morning and get out and try to get in a minimum of 20 miles before I have to come back and start work. And on the weekends, I get out for even longer. I'm gonna do a full review of the bike that I'm riding, the kit that I use when I'm riding, but the Salsa is wonderful because it'll run a 2.5-inch mountain bike tire or all the way down to a 25-centimeter road tire if you wanted to go that way. I run a 40 Schwalbe Marathon Plus Tour tire, which is a bit on the heavy side, but they're indestructible. They work really well for gravel and pretty loose, sandy kind of conditions, not the bottom of the arroyo kind of sand, but if I'm on a gravel road that has a loose patch, the tires do really well. And on the tarmac, they're fantastic. And they are virtually indestructible. I've ridden these tires for thousands of miles on a variety of different bikes over the years. I've never had a single flat tire with these tires. They're pretty indestructible and they last forever. But I'll do a full review of the bike because it's a very unique thing. And when I bought the Salsa back in 2013, there were very few manufacturers making bikes like this, a drop bar adventure bike. It was hard to get. In fact, most of the dealers I went to tried to talk me out of buying the bike. And I said, nope, I know this is the bike I want. It's been wonderful. So I'll review it. But in the meantime, I just wanted to share with you a little bit of the kind of riding that I've been up to and suggest that if you don't ride, it's something to think about. And if you don't know about gravel bikes, have a look online about what's out there. And I think even if you're a little bit hesitant to get on a bike again after X many years, gravel is a good way to reintroduce yourself to cycling. So get out there and ride.